I'm Dr. Stephen Jackshaw. I've been a practicing dentist now for over 30 years. Other than cavities, gum problems, root canals, and so forth, the number one issue with patients is bad breath. Bad breath about themselves, their spouse, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, business associate. What can you do? What are the effects of bad breath? How does bad breath affect your life? There's two aspects to that. It affects you socially and it affects you financially. Socially is huge. If you've got a spouse with bad breath and you don't even want to get up close to them to give them a good night kiss, they start to think that you don't love them anymore when in fact you do adore them. You think about the financial aspect about bad breath. Well, that's phenomenal as well. How many deals have you passed up because someone walked away from the deal because you had bad breath? When you came up close to them, they stopped thinking about the money. They started thinking about your bad breath. And they walked away from the deal and they went to close the deal with somebody else. Normal things is foods. And the foods that cause bad breath are those basically that have a lot of sulfur compounds in here. Fish, notorious for smelling bad. You like canned tuna? Might be a delicious sandwich, but that's about it. Garlic. Onions. It could be something as delicious as red wine. Many foods can cause problems, but are you going to stop eating and enjoying life? No way. Prescriptions can do that. Look at this. I just grabbed a bunch of old prescriptions. These are things that patients are taking. That's an enormous amount of prescriptions. I've had some patients being taken 10 or 12 prescriptions. Let's look at a simple little thing right here. A little glass of water here. I just put together a bunch of prescriptions. Look what happens here. And that has an odor to it right now. It's not super pleasant, but when it sits in your mouth, it starts to cause problems. Let me tell you about a camping trip where this idea came from. There was a father out there and he was cutting some fish and cutting some onions because he was preparing the meal for the scouts. But before he starts cooking it, I notice he's washing his hands under some clear water. But he's got this little metal alloy bar and he's washing his hands. I go, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm taking the odor off of my hands." And I go, "That takes the odor off of your hands?" I grabbed his hands and smelled it, and I'll be darned if it didn't neutralize or take the odor off of his hands. I thought, how can I take that idea into a toothbrush to minimize or help neutralize bad breath? And that's where I came up with the Neutralizer Plus toothbrush. This toothbrush, if you look at it, it has the metal alloy on the back. It also has a curved bristle head to reach all the dental arch. It has a teardrop effect here, if you look at that, because the majority of the brushing's up here. It's not at the end. It also has an ergonomic handle. Very easy to use. This was designed in such a way that your hand doesn't have any fatigue. There's a tongue scraper built into the end, so you can brush here and you can scrape your tongue. When you brush, the metal touches the inside of your mouth and you go all the way around. Wash your tongue. Take the metal to the inside of your mouth. This is what helps to help neutralize bad breath. You disrupt the food, the bacteria in your mouth, and you get the same effect off an alloy bar that you get off this patented toothbrush. If you want to minimize yourself having bad breath, go buy the Neutralizer Plus toothbrush. It is a phenomenal toothbrush.